Hi, everybody. 518 on what was really a pretty nice Monday. Did you get outdoors and enjoy it? We had record high temperatures, and I will show you those numbers in just a moment. Thought we'd have some occasional rain. As you know, we really didn't. We are now starting to see rain pick up across parts of the area. And this is the beginning, the rain coming in this evening, of what, without question, now will be the biggest stretch of in terms of the hours of steady rainfall and the biggest stretch in terms of the amount of rain coming down overnight tonight, through the day tomorrow, into tomorrow night, ending when a cold front comes through. It looks like Wednesday morning or at the latest Wednesday noon. Remember last week when I talked to you, and even into the first part of the weekend on Saturday, it really looked like yesterday's rain. Sunday was going to be the big push. And then the modeling started to pick up more and more on this rain coming in tonight into tomorrow. And let's tackle it, because absolutely there are going to be growing concerns of some river flooding and high water spots developing. So this is the Pacific full disk water vapor imagery. And, right here, you see a spinning low up in the Gulf of Alaska. Here's the moisture being pulled on the underside of that low along a front that's going to be almost parallel to the coast and stationary during the day tomorrow with very little movement. And then that front finally Wednesday morning will push into Oregon and Washington and shut off this moisture flow. But you can see the elongated flow pattern clearly starting to move into our area. I do want to show you radar right now, and here it is. So rain now steady up and down the coast from Astoria down to Newport and really into Florence. Starting to see mainly light rain pick up in the valley. This will increase, and it will just get rainier and rainier overnight tonight. And at times, some noticeable breezy south winds. I'm going to talk more about that as well. So let's get you going now with my main presentation. Now, let me set the stage right here and get this going. And here we go. All right. This is impressive. Atmospheric river. I've talked in detail. To me, it's an it's an overused term in today's world, but it absolutely applies with what's coming in tonight, tomorrow, into Wednesday morning. So I grabbed this image just an hour ago. So this is pretty current. Down here in red, that's the moisture just kind of running along the equator. And what you're looking for is a pull of moisture to come out of that tropical source, elongate itself, and then run into a region. So you see how this is elongated? This is like train tracks of moisture that's just going to keep shooting and shooting and shooting into our area. So typically when atmospheric river is used not only correctly, but with intent or meaning, where it really gives you some information, you should almost always expect a period of at least 1, and in some cases 2 to even almost 3 days of this moisture, just like railroad tracks, is channeling in and channeling into an area, literally a river of moisture just coming in. So you can see that plainly. This is an image that's called the total precipitable water. Basically is a bit of information that tells forecasters what the moisture possibility is that's coming in. So you can definitely see this moisture belt channeling in. Again, this is just starting to pick up steady rain at the coast. It will continue tonight, and you're going to see, again, this kind of train track, just stream or fetch, river-like elongation of moisture just feeding into us over the next 24 to even 36 hours. So with all of that said, this new light green color is a flood advisory that is now in effect, and the Weather Service has this flood advisory in effect all the way through Thursday at 1 a.m. Technically, there's still a flood watch in effect until Wednesday. This kind of replaces that, if you will. And as we start to see, and we will see at least some rivers hit flood stage, you're going to start to see some individual river flood warnings pop up. And we're probably going to get into, during the day tomorrow into tomorrow night, some urban flood advisories where we have high spots of water ponding on area roadways and that type of thing. So this truly does look to be the main event that's coming in. Notice this flood advisory from the coast all the way up into the Cascade foothills. Let's see here. What else we got going on? There's a lot to get to. Oh, I want to pause for a moment and just talk about today's temperatures. This was crazy warm. So Portland, 65 degrees. breaks the record, which was 64 by only 1 degree. But get this, we've never been warmer than 65 in the month of December. We have now tied that 65-degree record for the warmest December temperature out at the airport all time. How about that? And Portland was actually one of the warmer spots. Salem hit 63. That was good enough for a record. Eugene, 65, not a record. Astoria, 60, not a record. Vancouver, 64, record. And Timberline, to be honest, I'm not sure. I don't think that's a record. 43. It's been 43, just absolutely a steady temperature to the degree up on Mount Hood all day. Snow level is at 8,000 feet. So again, this is going to be a tremendous amount of rain coming in. Anyway, if you're outside and you were like me, you're like, man, this feels like April. That's why. Wow. Crazy, crazy warm. And that south wind, I just didn't think there was any chill at all. Now, let's get back to the serious and potentially some bad news. You always want rain. You don't want more than you need. Flood advisory in effect until 1 a.m. New rainfall that's going to fall tonight, tomorrow, into Wednesday morning. All total, if you live along the coast in the coastal communities, 3 inches or maybe more is expected to be widespread. That's expected to be the average, 3 inches or more. The mountains, the coast range, and also up into the Cascades, 4 to 6 inches. And maybe we get 7-inch reports. This is a big concern. That's going to feed the Nehalem River going into Tillamook County. It's going to feed the Wilson River going into Tillamook County and likely be responsible for at least some flooding. The I-5 corridor, which is what I like to refer to the Willamette Valley, because I also include up through Southwest Washington. The lowest forecast models print out 1.5 inches. The wettest forecast models show 3-inch rain totals. So we'll see. Now, so far, this entire month of December, the last several days, we picked up just a little bit more. We've picked up about 2.25 inches of rain. So this potentially is more than what we have been seeing all total, all the way back to Thursday. Think about that. It's been raining Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Didn't really get much today. But could we get more tonight through Wednesday morning than we've had all added together so far during what's going to be a 7 to 8 day run of rainy weather? Possibly. That makes it easy to understand. Oh, yeah, this could be a problem. 24 to 36 hours of steady rain. Remember the train tracks that I showed you of that moisture plume, that atmospheric river just going to funnel rain, hours and hours of it. It will not stop, okay? That's the way all the data points to right now. So what about wind? I don't think we have any significant issues here, but at the coast, and this is not going to be all the time. I think there's almost all the time going to be a noticeable breezy wind, but there will be periods of spike winds gusting 35 to 40, and maybe in some of the exposed areas along the beach, a 50-mile-per-hour wind gust at some point during the day tomorrow. Models show a little bit of a wind spike early tomorrow morning. They show another wind spike tomorrow evening into the overnight. Not sure if that's going to be absolutely correct, but we'll see. The mountains. Now, this is interesting. If you live at 1,000 feet, so that's Mount Scott, that's the high heights of the West Hills. I think Bull Mountain and Tiger, a lot of you, right, are close to that. Best chance to see winds gusting more than 35 and maybe to 45 miles per hour. Again, not all the time, but there could be 2 or 3 little periods where the winds really hit over the next 24 to 30 hours. And then 5,000 feet and higher, now you're talking. Now you're up into the Cascades, obviously. You've got 50-mile-per-hour wind speeds at times. And I talked about the jet stream several days back. The fact, and usually if you have, not always, but often, if you have an atmospheric river channeling into you, you also have a jet stream aloft that's pulling that moisture and kind of clearing the path to pull that moisture in. And if you get jet stream cores right over Mount Hood and over the Cascades, then the upper elevations can sometimes get 60, 70, 85 mile per hour winds. So that's absolutely, no way anybody should be up in the high country climbing or anything like that in the coming days. I'm assuming nobody is. I hope that's true. Valley winds, kind of what we've seen at times over the last couple of days. At times we've seen these gusty south winds bouncing 20 to 35. I think that's that range that most of us will stay into. So that's enough to move some trash cans around, maybe enough to blow some of the, Christmas big yard inflatables around. Maybe you want to think about not inflating your Frosty the Snowman or not inflating your snowman tonight and not doing it tomorrow and not doing it until that front comes in on Wednesday. If it were me, that's what I would do. I mean, I don't really know how strong and durable those things are, but anyway. All right, river level flood map. Didn't really pick up anything today. The green dots are all good. The blue ones are just basically no flood category defined. So the yellow ones, you've got some rising rivers in Lincoln County, and also you've got some, well, mainly in Lincoln County, then also in parts of Lane County. Remember, Lane County had a lot more rain on Sunday than the rest of us did up here in the North Valley. It was, I think, 2-inch rain amounts down there, if I remember correctly. Okay, like yesterday, I just want to highlight a few of the rivers, okay, to give you an idea. Wilson River is always one of the rivers that is most apt to flood. It quickly goes up, it quickly comes down. That's the Wilson River, that the one that runs into Tillamook, can often put water across 101. So notice the Weather Service, this is up from yesterday's projection, is now saying that Tuesday morning into Tuesday afternoon, the flood stage is 12 feet, and this river level will be about 1.5 feet above flood stage at 13.55. Now, this high water spike might last into Tuesday night, even Wednesday morning, because again, it's very possible we have a lot of rain that's still steady until that front comes in Wednesday morning. So the big takeaway here is it's going to get above flood stage. I think that's a high confidence call. And it could be above flood stage into Wednesday morning and then go down at some point Wednesday afternoon, start to fall. Okay. So that's the Wilson River in Tillamook. How about the Willamette below the falls in Oregon City? I mean, typically 1996 is an example where it did happen, but typically, of course, we don't see the Willamette River go over its banks in Portland or Salem. We see it get close, and I think that's what we're going to be seeing here. So this is the diagram. So this afternoon at 4 p.m., the river was projected to be or measured to be at just over 14 feet. The flood stage is up here, 27 feet. Had that rapid rise from Sunday's rain into today. Now they've got a rapid rise all the way into Wednesday afternoon, and then they kind of hold it nearing 19 feet, would still be below flood stage. And keep in mind, with if anything, there are more signs that we're going to get more rain, not less, more rain than what the weather modeling is actually outputting. So if that's the case, maybe this becomes a 22, 23 foot river level. This is not my expertise, simply spitballing. Again, the flood stage is 27 feet. Okay. And I will say the hydrologists that work at the River Forecast Center at the National Weather Service office in Portland, they are almost always, from what I can see, Johnny on the spot. They do really good work, really good work. All right, the Cowlitz up in Kelso. Okay, this has got a flood stage of 21.5 feet, and this shows it nearing 20 feet. That's getting close. And again, the spike would be Tuesday evening, it looks like. Tuesday evening into Wednesday morning, right around 20 feet. That makes sense. That front comes through Wednesday morning, maybe before noon, and then things start to go back down. If you live in an area where you are apt, or you often get high water spots, if you live near a stream or you've seen it get over its banks time and time again, there's a good bet that's going to happen the PM hours of tomorrow into tomorrow night into Wednesday morning, when we start to see the impact of all the rain that's coming starting tonight. All right, Hazeldale Tire Pros, thank you for the good work you do up here in Clark County and for being my tire store and sponsoring my 7-day. Hours of rain tomorrow, heavy at times, 55 in the morning. It could be 60 when you wake up in the morning. It's crazy warm outside. I've got 62, thinking with the rain, the temperature is going to be pushed down toward its dew point somewhat tomorrow, but that's still crazy warm stuff. Still in the 50s Wednesday morning. The front comes through right now. It looks like I think front comes through before noon on Wednesday. So we'll be in the 50s, and then the temperatures will finally fall. Snow levels Thursday back down to 3,000 feet. Things get back to normal. That's a separate front coming in Thursday, quarter, half of an inch, 4/10 of an inch of rain, something like that. Friday's kind of an off day. I think we have a chance to get some sun breaks, just a shower or two in the 40s, kind of typical temps. And then if you didn't see this, starting yesterday, I put rain back in the weekend forecast. It could be dry Saturday morning or mainly dry. Rain picks up in the afternoon. We got rain time Sunday and Monday, showers, and temperatures kind of typical. Lows around 40 at night, daytime highs 40s to about 50 degrees, which is actually considered still pretty mild for December. Okay, well, fasten your seatbelts, as the old saying goes, and we'll see just how many problems we have or don't have. I will say the saving grace has been, this has been spread out going back to last Thursday. We've had these 12-hour pockets or more where we didn't see much rain like we had today. But this is a big shot of rain coming in. So I think it's likely at this point, at least some of our rivers will in fact go over their banks. So use caution if you're out and about, especially at night. For now, I'm meteorologist Rod Hill. My weather site's portlandweather.com. I'll talk to you soon.